Are you ready for the ultimate side hustle tier list competition? Well, in this video, we're doing just that, ranking some of the best and the most popular side hustles, including some niche hustles here, to find out which is the best. So if you want to see these rankings from best to worst to find out truly what are the best side hustles in 2021 and 2022, let's get into it. So follow along with me here. Here is our tier list of side hustles. Now, if you're unfamiliar with just how a tier list works, we're going to rank all of these niches and or specific apps here from the worst, which is on a D grading scale, basically a D rank. We have C, B rank, A rank, and then the prestigious superlative super S rank. What do we have here when it comes to side hustles? And by the way, if this is the first time that you and I are meeting, I invite you to join the team of over 65,000, reaching hundreds of thousands of side hustlers just like you every month. Consider hitting that subscribe button. So firstly, we have this carrot here, which is Instacart, just your on-demand grocery service. You'll be a shopper there. We have Turo next, where you can rent out your personal vehicle and making money on that platform. Actually, possibly featuring that next year, so stay tuned there. Next, we have Rover. Anyone interested in pet sitting, that would be perfect for you as a side hustle to make some money. Now, next we have Robinhood. Now, that's actually going to represent just investing in general. We have just apps, Robinhood and Webull here. So that's going to be kind of this side hustle investing niche here. Next, we have this house icon, which is going to represent real estate. We have flipping products, selling and flipping specifically products here. So you can do that in this combined icon. I included OfferUp or Facebook Marketplace. After that, we have survey platforms. We have respondent and user testing. So how good are survey platforms? Next, we have Wrapify. Now that would also include, let's say, Carvertise, just different car wrapping apps, and how worth it are those. Next, we have the Coin app. Now, this is a little bit newer. It's verifying location data. So you'll get coin on this Coin app for verifying your location, and you can redeem that for cryptocurrency. Nextly, of course, we have Airbnb. We have YouTube. Now, that's representing just generally social media. So how is monetization on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook? Nextly, we have Lime, which is scooter charging, just charging electric scooters, on-demand scooters in your marketplace. Now, at a time, there was Bird scooter charging as well. They've kind of migrated to more fleet management positions. Next is contracted work. So here's another kind of combo tile. We have TaskRabbit, just different, furniture assembly, hauling, moving help. And then the app Wonolo, which does a similar thing here. It finds you contracted kind of temp work in your marketplace. Next icon, as you can see here, just generally for affiliate income, Best Buy, Amazon, Target, and the like for affiliate income. First icon on the second row, we have any kind of medical side hustles. So Sperm Bank or plasma donations there. Nextly, Entrepreneurship, which is a tricky one. We're going to get into that. Just generally, it's building and selling your own product or service there. And then some more familiar apps, right? We have Uber Eats, food delivery, of course. We have Grubhub. We have Uber's ride sharing niche. We have Lyft, of course. We have Gopuff, which is just package delivery there. We have Amazon Flex, which is, delivering actually packages and parcels. We have Roadie, which is another package delivery service, same day delivery there. We have Shipt, which is similar to Instacart, just grocery and on-demand essential service. And then, of course, DoorDash. So a lot to consider there. So my goal at the end of this video is for you to understand, okay, just overall, what are some of the best side hustles out there? All right, I'm excited to get into this. The way this is going to work is I'm going to leverage, talking about which one of these I've done, what I've heard about it, since really immersing myself in the gig economy since 2015. And really, this is a new industry, really founded in about 2011 with some of these first apps coming out. So my personal use case scenario, just articles about these companies with discussion boards on Reddit or other driver kind of side hustler forums as well. And then, of course, with their own community, listening to the pulse of this gig economy since I've been here specifically on YouTube since 2017. So combining that, as well as actually with numbers and just trends of these companies in general, There's a whole lot to go over. Now, saying that, of course, this is my personal experience, even using all of that data here. But let's see. I'm really curious. I have no idea where I'm going to rank these. Let's see how these apps fare. I'm thinking about generally how much money can these apps make? And just at the base point of, is it really worth my time? That's really the flat out of how I'm thinking about these hustles here. Is it worth your time for the work involved? And then how much you get paid for that? So Instacart, I mean, here in Pittsburgh, I don't see a ton of runs. I'm going to put this as a C rank just because, again, the pay that I've seen for the distance on the assignments, typically the assignments are really far away. It's not worth my time for the amount of items that I would have to shop for. There's better ways to make more money. Turo is an interesting one. Now, I've used Turo as a consumer twice in Washington and most recently, just last month in San Diego. So the process of renting a personal vehicle, someone's vehicle that they put on Turo, it's really easy. Now, again, I'm thinking about putting my current vehicle, a Passat, on the Turo platform. So talking with that owner most recently in San Diego, he had a few vehicles on Turo, said it was pretty consistent, but it wasn't booked the entire month. And the price point that he was at, I believe for $35 a day, is even bumping it up $5 to like $40, did decrease notably his clients that were coming in here. So because of that, I'm going to put another C rank here. I think it's decent. I think it's average. Frankly, this might start bumping into the B rank. I think it all depends on your marketplace and your vehicle. Rover. Now, one that I have not experienced. I actually signed up. I believe I got activated, but this isn't something that I've actually taken some appointments or some clients. So, I mean, I feel like it's really one of the first side hustles. It's, being a dog walker. And that was here before a lot of these other, before Rideshare, before some of these other apps here. So doing my research on it, I believe with the Rover, you can set your own rates, which is nice. I'm going to put Rover as a B tier. That may be a little surprising. It's better than Instacart, but I like that you can set your own rates. And I like that you can fill your own schedule. You can book multiple clients and you can have repeat clients. And I mean, the actual clientele, the fuzzy clientele themselves, I don't think that's too bad. Now, investing with Robinhood or Webull. Now, I just included this icon for Robinhood. That's just what I use. It's super easy. Because of that, you know what? The first thing that I'm thinking here is a B tier, which is pretty solid. I think anything that's a B tier is pretty solid. C, there's some negatives. I wouldn't really do it. And we're really looking for the S tier, right? Our goal in this video is to find some S tier side hustles for you. I love the ease of Robinhood. I've heard good things about Webull as well. It's allowed me to open, maintain, and become educated on an easy platform. That's just flat out how I feel about Robinhood. It's very transparent. It's very easy. And then there's even more tools and modules to help you learn if you're a beginner. So real estate, our next one here that I've always been interested in it. I haven't tried it yet. I'm here in Pittsburgh, of course, now. I was in San Diego for a little over 3.5 years. I've always been thinking about real estate. And that is my goal. Actually, late 2022 is to start or actually close on a first income property. I love, you know what? I'm going A tier on real estate. And here's why, is studying those with financial success, specifically entrepreneurship. And we'll get into that a little bit later. But a lot of financially successful individuals, entrepreneurs, have real estate. It's another one of those OG original side hustles. Now, there's a challenge, obviously, that it comes with a lot more research, and you have to know what you're doing. You have to get a good deal. There's differences between buying, multifamily, one unit, commercial, if you can get into commercial, or actual house flipping. I'm just looking at some basic rental properties, not a huge project, but I know the value and I hope you see the value in real estate. Next, I love this next one, is selling a product. Well, actually flipping a product, really. So flipping products that you can source and or selling stuff that you already have. And I've done this. So again, OfferUp, we have Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, which is another one of the kind of those OG side hustles. So I've whenever I moved from San Diego back here to Pittsburgh, my hometown, I had some stuff that I couldn't pack with me. I just generally sold some stuff that I didn't use before. And I think it was pretty seamless. It was pretty easy to sell stuff. Now, I'm going to put it as, I'm debating between B and C. I'm going to put it as a B cautiously. And here's why. I think that you really have to hustle if you're flipping products. You have to source these products somewhere. So whether that be Goodwill, whether that be garage sales, or even buying storage units, there's going to be more of a time investment to actually source products. You're going to have to carry products as far as actually hold on to product unless you can stream that somehow. And then you have to deal with obviously the communication of closing that sale, posting it. But I think it's a pretty solid side hustle nonetheless. So nextly, and by the way, if you're getting value, if this is helping you kind of visualize these apps here, can you definitely drop a like on this video? Definitely appreciate it. And this next one is survey taking, which is something that I've really mined for recently, of finding, all right, which platforms are a waste of time and which are decent, because none of these are going to make you a ton of money here. So this is user testing and respondent. These are vetted. These are some of the biggest online survey platforms, and I like it better than, let's say, Google Opinions. Now, it's not a lot of money. I'm going to put it as C tier. It's not a lot of money, but you don't need a vehicle. You can do it from home, and the pay, it's not lucrative, but it is fair. We're not talking like, I don't know, 10, 11 an hour. That's kind of poor. That would make this a D tier. I think, from my experience, you can make 15, 20, 25 plus an hour. It just depends on the projects that you projects and the surveys that you accept. Next, Wrapify and car wrapping platforms, one that I have deep experience in. Check out the card linked above for my 2-month review of trying Wrapify for the first time here. So in short, I'm getting about 21 cents per mile over the campaign. And again, these platforms, Carvertise, Wrapify, they'll pay you to wrap your vehicle in an ad or a decal, some of these, a back panel decal, what have you. But the pay is more, I'll put it as a C tier, folks. Let me know actually down below in the comments if you're shaking your head, if you're disagreeing, if you feel like it should be higher or lower, or if you do agree. Let me know down below in the comments, and which apps, of course. So it's super easy. It's very convenient, but at 21 cents, and this is just my experience at 21 cents a mile. It's going to vary on a few things here, but I don't love it at 21 cents a mile. It's supposed to be supplemental income, and it is, right, to maybe other gig apps. But at the end of the day, I would like to take their highest paying tier, which is the full wrap. I'm doing a light wrap, and that's just kind of marginal. So next, Coin, which is, I believe, based in San Diego, actually. Carlsbad, to my knowledge. So I've used this for, I think, a little over a year, maybe more. But you'll just verify your location data. And it's a little confusing. We have a whole playlist. Check that out if you're unfamiliar with Coin. And I can redeem those coin that I've earned for cryptocurrency or physical product. Now, what I've seen on Coin is a decent amount of accumulation of that, again, coin to redeem for crypto. But, I'm going to put it as a C tier. It's a little complicated. You have to get a crypto wallet to, hold the actual cryptocurrency that you convert from the coin, and then which kind of crypto do you invest it in. Then you got to withdraw it. It's a little complicated, right? Now, that doesn't mean that you can simply educate yourself, right? Do some readings, what have you, to educate yourself on the crypto space, but it's a little complicated in that sense. Airbnb, another one of kind of those OG side hustles, one of the first at least. So my brother, Matt, he tried Airbnb really shortly after he purchased and renovated his house here in Pittsburgh. And I'll tell you what, I will put this in the B tier because he was making very solid money. Now, with me not personally being a host, and that was some time ago, I would weigh things like, okay, what is the current market rates for what I'm listing? And how likely is it that I'm going to have to deal with headaches with those renters? Again, any other restrictions for your specific marketplace when it comes to actually listing on Airbnb? And then ultimately, I need to think about how much can I list my space for to make it worth it. If I can make, let's say, $200 a night. If I'm in a very popular market, that would make it a lot more convincing to me than if I'm listing my place for, let's say, $90 a night. Nextly, YouTube and social media monetization in general. I'm going to make this right now, at the time of filming this video, folks, I'm going to make it an A tier. I am a firm believer in monetization on social media right now. Now, I know it is not everyone's cup of tea. I completely get that. I mean, just like real estate, right? You may not be interested in real estate, but I just want to speak to you if you're interested in monetization on YouTube, on TikTok, on Facebook, and Instagram. Those are kind of the big ones right now. There is no better time, I've seen this with my own numbers, to try and monetize across socials. And you could even do this if you're a business. Now, one of the number one tips, the number one tip I would give you really is to be a constant learner. You can't wing it, folks. I'll tell you that. I've learned from experience. You can't wing it. You have to immerse yourself in learning SEO, best practices, what actually works across socials. Now, I will tell you, I did create a new channel. It's called Your Driver Mike Creates. I'll have that linked in the description. If you want to learn how to grow, dominate, and monetize really on YouTube. So I've seen, YouTube payouts, 5 figures plus for consistent, multiple months here. So I am a firm believer if you know how to optimize across socials. Lime scooter charging, something that I really was doing in San Diego. And you got to think about it. I'm out and about, like in the actual field per se, right? I'm outside grabbing these electric scooters, throwing them in my vehicle. It was a Dodge Caliber at the time, which was nice because it was a hatchback. Bring them home, you charge them, and then the next morning by 7 a.m., super early, by the way, not a fan, you drop them off. And once that's complete, you get, X amount of dollars a scooter. It was $7. They lowered it to really $4. And now they're not even in San Diego. But if it is available in your marketplace, I'm going to put it really as a C tier. And I just say that because it was a lot of work. And I know that now I would think that most all marketplaces have consistently lower pay than when they first started here years ago. So, $4 a scooter, maybe even lower. In my opinion, it's really not worth it unless you're doing something really at volume at that point. So nextly, contractor work with TaskRabbit and Wonolo. So I've signed up with both. I've been activated on both, as well as Field Agent. That's another one. Upwork is similar as well. You can contract skills out on Fiverr as well, but these are kind of more out in the field work here. I'm going to put this as another C tier. I was never a big fan of it. The jobs for what they were asking, it just didn't pay enough. And that's frankly what it comes down to. It'd be things like, okay, we need you to go to this business, take a picture of their soda display stand, make sure it's okay, or take a picture outside of this business. It just got landscaped. Make sure that, we want to review to make sure the landscaping was done, correctly. It was just odd things like that. I mean, you'd have to drive there, you'd have to do that, and then you get paid, which wasn't really that great. Just again, in my opinion, let me know how your experience has been on those apps. Affiliate income. Now, if you're a current subscriber, again, if you're not, I invite you to consider subscribing. I'm a big believer in affiliate income. I use Amazon Associates mainly, but if you combine this with any kind of presence online, if you have networking through, let's say, that real estate, you have a website, you're just in kind of networking groups, what have you, or if you're active on Reddit and your community allows you to post affiliate links, or of course, if you're right here on social or any of the social platforms and you have, again, a media that allows you to post affiliate links, I'm a huge believer in it. I'm going to make this another A tier just because it's really one of those limitless and semi-passive revenue streams. That's what you're looking for. So I can make money, let's say, when someone shops with my affiliate links. I'll give you an example. The first link in this description is for our Amazon storefront. It's for the best accessories, tried, vetted, tested accessories for different side hustles. So when people shop through those links, I get a commission, and it is very semi-passive in that sense. So if you're interested, if you are looking to build an audience or just be in a group generally that allows you to reach an audience. I love affiliate income as a side hustle. Now, our next category here is the medical niche. And I remember in college, my brother had experience with this, donating plasma. And I remember just reading a recent comment in a recent video where we just gave you some ideas of different side hustles. Is reading the same thing. So it's either that or, again, the sperm bank. So again, this is another one of those OG side hustles. Let's put the medical niche. What do you think? I'm putting it tier B because it's reliable. It's very straightforward, I believe. I think they have it very streamlined, and the pay can be pretty good, especially for the sperm bank. As I've heard, it's really in high demand. So if the medical niche for a side hustle is for you, I think it is pretty straightforward. Entrepreneurship, it is very high risk, obviously, as you can imagine, building something from the ground up. I'm really focusing on digital, not necessarily the brick and mortar. That's where I'm kind of framing this here. But selling a product, a course, a service, etc. Really, I'm putting this as the A tier. In fact, this could even be our first S tier. And you know what? Let's do it. Let's put entrepreneurship as the S tier. And I think nothing really defines that better than how hard it is. Building a product or service, selling, building a lead generation, building a funnel, working with clients, sourcing clients, managing top down pricing, marketing, communication, building a team over time. It's extremely hard. But I'll tell you firstly here, doing YouTube full time and building a business around it, I will definitely tell you that. But as you can imagine, it's, the juice is worth the squeeze. I'll tell you that. But just like social, my thoughts on that for you is to be a constant learner. Immerse yourself in the books, the podcast, and or shadow those that you want to bring into your circle. Step into their circle to shadow. Again, just say, hey, I just want to shadow you for a day. People who are doing things and that they're where you want to be. Okay, a little bit less pressure here. Let's get into some of these food delivery apps here. Uber Eats, one of my favorites. It's kind of becoming my favorites here in Pittsburgh. I'm watching that as well as DoorDash, of course, which is still the number one food delivery app. You know what? I was almost going to put it in an A tier. I'm going to put it a B tier now that I'm thinking about it, but it could be a B plus. Now, with a lot of these niches, folks, I know it depends on your marketplace. It depends on the time of year. Again, it depends on your market and really just your community, what your individual kind of, again, just culture, community is really feeling as far as what's popular in your area. But I like Uber Eats. The bonuses are pretty solid here in Pittsburgh. And the orders, if you're a driver, is pretty consistent. Now, Grubhub, I'm going to also put as a B. I would say that this is a solid B, whereas Uber Eats would be a B plus. And I'll say that because the pay is exceptional. Check out our playlist on Grubhub if you want to see some examples of what we've seen here in Pittsburgh. But that's on single orders, really. It's on single orders that pay very, very well. Now, I think the bonus pay incentives could be a little clearer. There's no real heat maps. There's no real bonus schedule, whereas bonuses are very clearly communicated on Uber Eats and DoorDash. But again, at least here in Pittsburgh, and let me know in the comments, I've seen this echoed in our community, but please let us know down below in the comments if Grubhub is the highest paying food delivery app, albeit maybe they're not the busiest. Uber with Rideshare. You know what? I'm going to put Uber and Lyft, just to save you some time here. I know we can't go too long here, in the C tier. But yeah, Rideshare, it was super hot when I started in 2015. 2016, the pay was incredible. Holidays, I could easily hit 60 an hour on a weekend, 70. New Year's Eve, I could hit 80 an hour. It was crazy. But it was new. No one else was really doing it. I mean, now no one else is really doing it to the scale as Uber and Lyft anyway, but there's a lot more drivers in most every single marketplace. But again, 2016, 2015, when they were new to Pittsburgh, it was on fire, but not the case anymore. Gopuff, it's a delivery service. Again, daily essentials kind of thing. I haven't done it. I've been activated. I've been looking at their offers. What I don't like, and correct me in the comments if this is incorrect, but a lot of scheduling, the interface, the UI, the user interface, it's not as clear by far as any other. In fact, they're probably one of the worst user experiences, at least what I've seen, using, I believe, 2 separate apps to get this thing to work. You have to use this When I Schedule app. You have to use their Gopuff driver app. I think it's a big mess. And the pay, what I've seen, combined with the scheduling, I'm actually going to put this, unfortunately for them, at the D tier. Nextly, Amazon Flex, after my phone basically crashed and I thought I was going to lose all of this footage up until now. Thankfully it did not. So let's get back into it here. So Amazon Flex, really the buzziest app right now, I feel like. When I've polled our community here, Amazon Flex is the one that's people want the most information on. I've done it here in Pittsburgh and I did it in San Diego. I've been doing this, I think, since 2019 on Amazon Flex. Now, I'll tell you, just being honest with you, I feel like weather affects my desire to do Flex more than any other app. So it being parcel delivery, you're scheduling shifts. You can go online immediately, but it's a little bit different. So otherwise, I'm scheduling shifts and it is a minimum of 3 hours. Now, time of year also matters. I mean, now it's time of filming. The sun sets at 5 p.m. So then I would be delivering 40 plus packages in envelopes, 40, 50, 60 plus packages in envelopes at night. And you can imagine trying to leaf through all those labels. Even if you put all the labels up, it can be kind of a pain. Now, it's $18 flat. It can be as low as $15 an hour, by the way. I haven't seen that. There can be bonus pay if you sign up for a shift, because again, you got to sign up for a shift here closer to the start time. So that's one hack, how to get some bonus pay. I cannot list this any higher than a C. I mean, it's okay in the spring and summer and the fall, but I mean, during the winter or when it's night out, and for the pay, let's say it is $18 an hour, I can make more money elsewhere. Roadie, it's another really last mile, same day delivery service, package delivery. Now, I've kept my eye on it. I haven't done a run. Now, they will tell you the pay, obviously, the distance, the duration, and they will tell you the size of the package. Now, here's the thing. If you have a larger vehicle, they seem to reward you on Roadie. So there's some higher paying deliveries with just, again, larger, heavier items. So if you have a truck, etc., you might like Roadie. And I have seen that some of our users do use Roadie. But for me, again, I'm going to put this just as a C. Just for what I've seen, just the offerings and how much I can make for, again, the effort, the deliveries. I just use some other apps. Shipt, of course, the competitor to Instacart. Now, this is really interesting. As a Shipt shopper, I had a lot of success in San Diego when I first started. The pay was exceptional. I was making maybe $30 an assignment. And that assignment, going to the grocery store, shopping, checking out, and delivering to the customer, that would typically take about an hour or less. So I was making pretty good money there on Shipt. But then I would just see, more and more items as far as what I'm shopping for kind of less pay. And I really, my interest in Shipt really dropped. Now, they do have a delivery only option, which is, you just go to the store and you just pick up the pre-picked items and then you just deliver. Or even sometimes here in Pittsburgh, I had one where, it's just loaded into your vehicle, right? You can have that store pickup. So I'm going to cautious. I'm going to rank it a B, but it's really a B minus. I'm going to rank it above Instacart because I do think there's some opportunities to make more than Instacart with that delivery only. Or I feel like in some marketplaces, if you're new to Shipt, you might see higher bonuses and overall assignment pay more than Instacart. And lastly, really the juggernaut, the number one, at least when it comes to market share, that's what we're talking about here, the number one market share leader in the food delivery space. And what I found statistically to be really the most popular side hustle right now, at least in 2021. And I'll just say, just to be safe, to niche it down, at least in the food delivery space, is of course DoorDash. So what we've seen here in Pittsburgh and in what I saw in San Diego was consistent bonuses, frequent bonuses. So I could count on, okay, most every day, the weekday, I could count on $3 dinner hour bonuses. And I could count on that Monday, Monday through Thursday. And then Friday through Sunday be maybe even a little bit more. And I could count on bonuses across my entire marketplace. And we've seen the same thing really for years here in Pittsburgh. Consistent, unchanging bonuses, the same hours, the same days, maybe a little bit more on the weekends. And that really hasn't changed. Consistent orders as far as constant orders, so you're busy. And while yes, all of these food delivery apps can give you low paying orders, we teach you here what to decline and what to take. Again, consider subscribing if you want to learn that. But in my opinion, it is still one of the best food delivery apps. So I'm going to put DoorDash as a B, but keep in mind, it really is a B+, maybe even an A-. The only reason I don't bump that up to the A tier is because it is an active revenue stream. So you can see, look at what's the S and the A tier. It's really a semi-passive revenue stream, because what that allows you to do is if I can make, whatever it is, X amount of dollars a year, if I can do it with a semi-passive medium, social media, real estate, entrepreneurship, and or affiliate income, then that'd be great if that's 60%, 70% of my and your revenue. And then supplement that with the active revenue streams. Because again, if you're using your personal vehicle with a lot of these side hustles, there's wear and tear on the vehicle, obviously. You're more prone to, safety on the road, weather, like I mentioned, for certain other apps, versus, let's say, focusing on any of those other semi-passive streams. And you can build that up. You can scale that anywhere. You don't have to be on the road. So I hope this tier list helped you out. That was fun. We have never done that. So hopefully this gives you an idea, at least, from my perspective here. And I'm not saying this perspective is any better than anyone else's. Hopefully this did provide you value. I'm really curious, what did you agree with? What did I completely miss? What other niches did we just not list in general that you'd like to see on a tier list? Let us know down below. So if you got value in this video, you can definitely drop me a like, and you can also click or tap screen here for my newest video, as well as a video recommended for you, and I'll see you in the next one.